Ellen DeGeneres has a new sitcom. Hear what CBS says about her character's sexuality. Now on KDKA TV News at 11 o'clock.
Live, the cost of coffee is going up. How much and when? Home team coverage.
A time capsule is opened in a local neighborhood, but will they share memories from 1939?
KDKA TV News begins right now.
Good evening. All too often, it seems, we are telling you about this kind of a story.
There was another school shooting today, this time in Oklahoma. Police say a 7th grader walked up to a crowd of fellow students and opened fire. 4 children at Fort Gibson Middle School were shot. None of the injuries appears to be life-threatening. The suspect was described by classmates as a straight-A student who was very popular. Police believe the shooting was random.
We went inside, and there's blood all over the place, all over the carpet, where they brought one of the students in.
He's just real upset because a couple of his real close friends are some of the ones that got shot. And he doesn't know how they are, and he's just real worried about them.
Police say they are not aware of any previous trouble involving the boy. They still do not know who owns the gun. Local youngsters are trying to keep themselves and their friends off the streets and out of trouble.
So they have created a community center at Carrick High School. Jackie Smith was there for the grand opening, and Jackie joins us live now with telling us what it's all about.
Well, Stacy and Patrice, the kids have worked on this for 2 years. It's called CHIC, which stands for Carrick High Involvement Center. And as the name implies, they want the community to get involved in saving its teenagers. 2 years of hard work have started to pay off with the inaugural event of the Carrick High Involvement Center, or CHIC. It was a celebration of Hanukkah, Christmas, and Kwanzaa, complete with storytelling, arts and crafts, and even a pie-eating contest. It started as a community awareness project with 7 students from 5 different neighborhoods.
We sat them down and said, what do you think is the biggest problem in your communities? And we expected things like drugs, alcohol, tobacco, those kind of things. And believe it or not, all 7 came back and said they felt loitering was the #1 issue in their communities.
I'd walk home from school each day and I'd see tons of kids loitering in front of stores, getting into trouble, spray painting on walls, doing vandalism, hanging out on the streets.
The students surveyed business and homeowners who agreed loitering was the #1 evil. The students set out to do something about it.
We decided to have pizza parties, karaoke, just 1 day a month or whatever, in a school or whatever that would help get the kids off the street.
And keep them in school.
If they're hanging out, then they stay out late. They don't like to get up and go to school the next morning. But programs like this, they keep you active for a certain amount of time and give you enough time to get home and, still get the proper rest to go to school the next day.
Hundreds of people showed up tonight and seemed to have a great time. The next event will be a family fun day in the spring. The students eventually want to hold monthly activities, and the events are free with free shuttle transportation and free food and drinks.
All right, you just said everything is free. If that's the case, how are they going to cover the expenses for this program?
There are 2 foundations, the Grable Foundation and the Birmingham Foundation, and they're going to cover the expenses for the next 3 years.
All right.
And by the way, the kids won an award for this, too.
Oh, did they?
They're coming up with this idea, yeah.
Well, probably they should. Thank you, Jackie.
Another victim of a row house fire in Lawrenceville has died. 3-year-old JoJo Hall died this afternoon. Her 10-year-old brother Randy was also killed. The fire broke out around 1 this morning on Leach Street. The children's mother, Marion Hall, and her 14-year-old daughter jumped from a 2nd-story window.
First thing I saw was Tara in the middle of the street, the oldest sister, screaming, "Jojo, Mike," like she was crying. And I was like, oh, God. And I was like, well, where's the kid? And they were like, they're still in there. They're trapped inside. I was like, oh, God, my heart dropped. My stomach turned.
Investigators believe the fire was accidental and was caused by an electrical malfunction. A local magistrate accused of shooting up heroin in her courtroom had her preliminary hearing today. Springdale District Justice Gigi Sullivan waived her right to the hearing after her alleged drug supplier testified. Donald Gerasi says he supplied Sullivan with drugs in exchange for his dismissing or altering cases filed against him and others. The case may not go to trial until next summer.
It could be called a dress rehearsal for first night. Organizers put on a mini first night celebration tonight to tell Pittsburghers what is new this year. There will be more than 50 places to visit downtown with activities ranging from face painting to dance lessons. And some of the performers even offered a sample. First night started 6 years ago. It is an alcohol-free family night on New Year's Eve.
This is a wonderful event. And it's exciting for me. My mother, my 91-year-old mother, is coming in for first night, and my children and my grandchildren. And so that's probably the best endorsement I can give you.
Now, here are some of the fast facts about first night. It starts at 3 p.m. New Year's Eve with children's events and concludes at midnight with a big fireworks display. You need a first night button to get into the events. Buttons cost $10 for adults, and children 6 to 12, those buttons are $5. Anyone younger is admitted free. Those buttons can be purchased at Giant Eagle, Kaufman's, and other select locations. A holiday attraction is getting a lot of attention in downtown Pittsburgh. There is an exact replica of the Vatican creche in front of the USX Tower on Grant Street. Hundreds gathered today to dedicate the nativity scene.
We don't normally get through the square here, and we went out of our way to come over and see it, and it's beautiful. It's really a beautiful structure.
Everyone should come down here to see this, definitely. They definitely should come down. I think they will be missing a huge treat if they don't come. Start their Christmas off right.
That creche is on display through January the 8th.
A water main break tonight in Armstrong County. It happened on Canal Street in Leechburg. Water buffaloes have been set up in various locations, including the fire halls in Leechburg and Gilpin Township. There is no word yet on when the taps will be running again. And one of the busiest roads in downtown Pittsburgh will be closing in the spring. All 4 lanes of Fort Duquesne Boulevard will begin renovation in March. You will still be able to access the 6th, 7th, and 9th Street bridges. That work will last 1 year. The Pittsburgh City School Board has a new president tonight. Alex Matthews, who represents District 3, will now head the school board. He replaces Ron Suber as president. Suber lost his re-election bid. 2 new board members were also sworn in tonight, Mark Brentley and William Eisler.
Now on KDKA TV, tomorrow's headlines from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette tonight. How healthy are Pittsburghers compared to the rest of the country? You will see how 50 U.S. cities ranked. If you would like to book a hotel room for the Millennium, what is still available and who is offering package deals? And what about discounts? Well, you can read more about these stories in tomorrow's Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Our guarantee of good news stops in Overbrook tonight.
That is where the annual light-up night took place. Children enjoy the lighting of the Christmas tree. They even decorated the community room with some of their own artwork.
The holiday fun continues, this time with a Christmas concert at Children's Hospital. B.E. Taylor entertained with some holiday songs, and someone the children all recognize came to the party. Mr. McFeely from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood helped brighten up the day.
If you have good news to report, let us know in advance. The number to call, 412-803-HOME.
Straight ahead.
The Supreme Court confronts the Miranda warning head-on. Will police stop warning criminals that they can remain silent?
A time capsule from 1939 was opened tonight in a local neighborhood. Will we get a peek at what's inside?
A change in coffee prices. Will you be paying more or less?
Did your favorites make the cut? See who's up for the American Music Awards.
And it hasn't snowed much in these parts. We'll show you where it did snow a lot today. Plus, again, another warm-up. The complete AccuWeather forecast is on the way. KDKA TV News continues in just a moment.
Some TV stations think the bigger the toys, the better the news. At KDKA, the news is serious stuff. Toys are for kids.
There's a change in the weather, change in the sea. From now on, there'll be a change in me.
It's the TJ Maxx Under $20 gift event. Hurry into TJ's and discover hundreds of the season's best gift ideas. All the gifts you need for everyone on your list. And they're all at the Under $20 gift event, going on now at TJ Maxx.
There'll be some changes made
Fashion.
today.
Some people get it, some get it for less. TJ Maxx.
I know how. I am able. I'm part of this crazy mix of people and machines. I know how. I can dance with the buttons and the levers and the wires. I'm the future. I know how. Canon.
Live from Gateway Center, this is KDKA TV News, the Hometown Advantage, with Patrice King Brown, Ken Rice, and Larry Richard with the AccuWeather forecast. Now, get the advantage.
Was it an accident or a crime?
A jury in Miami has convicted an aircraft maintenance company in a criminal trial involving the Value jet crash. SaberTech was found guilty of improperly packaging oxygen canisters on that plane. Those canisters caught fire and the plane crashed in the Everglades 3 years ago, killing 110 people. 2 employees were acquitted and the company was cleared of the most serious charges involving conspiracy.
And it shows corporate America, once again, that you cannot put the almighty buck before people's lives.
It was the first time a maintenance company had faced criminal charges in connection with an airline disaster in this country.
NASA may never know what happened to the Mars polar lander. Hope of contacting the spacecraft is fading fast as windows of communication open and close in silence. Mission controllers have not heard from the polar lander since it started its descent toward the red planet on Friday. You have the right to remain silent, but do the police? The Supreme Court is going to revisit the famous Miranda warning, which police have to read to criminal suspects. The landmark ruling dates back to 1966, and the question now is whether that ruling was overturned by a law passed a few years later. An appeals court that heard that robbery case recently says it was. And here's one from We're Not the Brightest Criminals file. 4 men with guns tried to rob a bar in Las Vegas, and it turns out the place was full of off-duty police officers. Even the rock band on stage was made up of police. As you might imagine, there was a shoot-off. Sadly, one of the suspects was killed.
Well, if you want your morning coffee, you're going to have to pay a little more for it. Because of the drought in Brazil, coffee prices are going up. In just the last 2 months, wholesale coffee prices have risen 85%. Major coffee companies are expected to soon pass the increase on to consumers. Brazil, by the way, is the world's largest coffee producer. And you can imagine just what a cup of coffee cost back in 1939. That is a year of special significance for some people in Dormont who recently unearthed a time capsule from back then. For 60 years, the steel pipe held pieces of the past. And as Bruce Pompiani reports, those secrets are going to stay sealed well into the future.
In Dormont, the mystery of the millennium can be found inside this plain plastic bag sealed in 2 large manila envelopes. Inside are the contents of a time tube buried beneath the Borough building 60 years ago as part of an Armistice Day salute to the Star-Spangled Banner. The not-so-ancient artifacts were unearthed 40 years early when Dormont decided to move its offices to a newly renovated building just down the street. Until now, nobody really knew for sure if a time capsule even existed. Now that it does, even the mayor is a little curious.
And I'm sure everybody in this room would love to know what's in there.
Everybody's curious.
I'm curious, sure, but I don't think that should outweigh the other people's decisions.
The newly formed Dormont Historical Society, out to promote the borough's proud past, would have loved a sneak peek. But after some dutiful debate, Council voted unanimously in favor of keeping with the time-honored tradition in which time capsules are buried. So the secret stays sealed until the year 2039, as originally intended by the veterans who placed it beneath this flagpole back in 1939.
My mother was a history teacher, and I was raised to respect history and tradition.
Curiosity will have to wait until the next millennium, and that's just fine for VFW Commander and capsule keeper Jim Harrod.
Well, in 1939, they knew when the new millennium was coming, and they didn't make it for that. They wanted to do it for 100 years, and we feel we should honor their wishes.
And so the time capsule will remain sealed for a century. The VFW will put it back in the ground for another 40 years here at the site of the new municipal complex on Hillsdale. For those still curious about what life used to be like, you can either wait until the year 2039 or check out your local library. In Dormont, Bruce Pompiani, KDKA TV News.
Up next, the American Music Award nominees.
Also, take a guess who has been voted worst group in Britain.
And Larry has the AccuWeather forecast.
Give a little love. Here are great holiday ideas at great big Kmart prices. But they're only on sale this week. This 7-foot Christmas tree is just $59.99. Get a 19-inch Philips Magnavox TV, just $159.99. A Panasonic cordless phone, just $29.99. And all men's jeans are on sale, as low as $8.99. Hurry and save big this week at Big K, changing for the better.
You know what ticks me off? Well, a lot. But the main thing is a phony. That's why I like these Arby's chicken fingers. That's all white meat. They're the genuine article, none of those puny processed nuggets.
Try Arby's real all-white meat chicken fingers and try something else unique. Arby's new appetizers. Cheesy mozzarella sticks, zesty jalapeno bites, and crunchy onion petals. Arby's new sidekickers. There's no other fast food like them.
Wow. For me? What is it? DVD. Thank you.
Where's the movie?
Did you find it yet?
I can't find it anywhere. I haven't seen it.
Any luck?
It's never too late for a fun gift. Best Buy, bringing a little magic to life.
Ellen DeGeneres is shooting a new sitcom for CBS, and the network is not asking if she will play a lesbian. DeGeneres is homosexual, and so is the character she played on her last show. This time, she'll play a talk show host, and CBS says it's not concerned about the character's sexuality. If people like the pilot, the show could air next fall. Nominations for the American Music Awards were released today with not too many surprises, except that a rapper, Jay-Z, charged 3 days ago with stabbing a music executive in the back, has been nominated for Favorite Rapper. Other nominees are Best Male Artist, Lenny Kravitz, Ricky Martin, and Will Smith. Nominations for Best Female Artist, Whitney Houston, Britney Spears, and Shania Twain. The winners will be announced the 17th of January. How fickle is fame? Well, you know it's very fickle. The Spice Girls are back on tour just in time to be voted Worst Group of the Year. The honor comes from British fans. Just 2 years ago, those same fans voted the girls the best group.
The First Lady is showing off the White House holiday decorations. The Christmas tree stands in the Blue Room, and there's also a gingerbread house in the State Dining Room. The decorations this year highlight American landmarks and historical events.
Hi, we're Captains Dan and Beth Ann Lockhart, stationed here at RAF Mildenhall and RAF Lakeheath here in England.
We'd like to say hi to Mom, Dad, and Matthew in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. We'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and hope you have a safe and happy holiday season. Go Steelers!
Well, it looks like it's a lot warmer there than it is here. Although we had a pretty nice weekend today, back to normal, and we're going to start the warm-up on Wednesday. Let's take a look at our live Skycam picture. All's quiet downtown. We have an overcast sky, but not much in the way of precipitation. Nothing showing up on Storm Tracker. The AccuWeather forecast for temperatures by the rush hour tomorrow, around 32 degrees in the city. A little cooler than that in some of the outlying areas. 38 on the lunch hour and 42, which is exactly where we should be for a December 7th. And we'll see a partly sunny afternoon. 31 degrees at Pittsburgh International Airport, 96% of relative humidity. Not much of a breeze out of the west at 5 miles an hour. The barometer is on the rise. Today's high, 52. That was actually just after midnight. And the temperature at 30 degrees is the low. So we kind of have the reverse. Usually you have the high in the afternoon. Still 10 degrees above the average for the date, all things considered. And here are some temperatures around the region. 30 in Indiana, 34 Greensburg, South and Morgantown, 32 degrees. Well, here's the satellite picture. We have low-level clouds, overcast sky, but there wasn't much precipitation. Anywhere from a quarter inch to a half inch of rain overnight last night, but that moisture is well off to the east. Out here in the Midwest, Wichita, Kansas, got a lot of snow. 8 inches of snow to be exact. Take a look. This is a harbinger of what you can expect down the road, and caused some problems. 30,000 people without power due to the heavy snow, and 2 deaths associated with the storm out in Wichita, Kansas. Let's take a look at underneath the cloud cover. This is the radar pattern. You can see the rain off to the east, and it's staying as rain. It's snow out to the west in Idaho, moving off the coast, coming into the Pacific Northwest. Not much in between. So in the next 24 hours, not a whole lot's going to change for us, except it'll brighten up a bit. Here's our three-dimensional look at things with our AccuWeather forecast. High pressure. That's a big high pressure over Atlanta. And low-level clouds here in the Pittsburgh area. So in the next 24 hours, you see this little warm-up. High pressure starts building in. It'll clear the sky on Wednesday, so it'll be bright, and you guessed it, above normal again. We're going to be on the warm side of a system that's going to bring temperatures up through the midweek and really right on into the beginning of the weekend. So tomorrow we're on the low end of the 40s in the AccuWeather forecast For the next few days, it does call for temperatures to go north. That would be up. So to recap tonight's AccuWeather overnight forecast, a flurry if that. 30 degrees will be the low, 42 and partly sunny, especially in the afternoon. Take a look at Wednesday, 52 with lots of sunshine, 56 and partly sunny on Thursday. And it stays mild into Friday, but it will become mostly cloudy and breezy. Chance for some rain showers and a few showers into Saturday, maybe even a few wet snowflakes mixed in, especially in the mountains just to our east, the high 44. And that's the AccuWeather forecast right to the minute.
Well, that middle of the week, you know, tomorrow looks, well, next day looks
Tomorrow's where we're supposed to be, and then we go the other way again.
Okay, we'll take it. Thanks,
I
Larry.
didn't hear many complaints.
No. Thanks.
Well, don't forget to make the Hometown Advantage part of your morning.
From 5 till 7 a.m., Don Cannon and Susan Barnett will have the latest local news.
And then from 7 until 9, it is the early show with Brian Gumbel and Jane Clayson. And we will be right back.
When it comes to TV news, we know you're tired of trumped-up claims and idle pledges.
That's why it's KDKA TV news you can count on and trust.
The most resources, state-of-the-art technology in people who bring you the most complete and accurate on-the-scene coverage.
Every day, our hometowners deliver unsurpassed coverage that's important to you without the hype.
KDKA TV News. Coverage you trust every day. Get the advantage.
And so this is Christmas, a wonderful new collection of great holiday music from Celine Dion, Ricky Martin, Gloria Estefan, Babyface, Harry Connick Jr., and Charlotte Church. Take it home for your holiday. On sale now for $8.99, only at Target.
Once in a while, a car comes along that's really worth pursuing. A car with features like an automatic transmission, alloy wheels, ABS, a security system, and more, all offered at a price that has proven to be very elusive. Of course, you have to see such a car. To not would be criminal. The Special Edition Accord from Honda. Now get special financing as low as 3.9 APR for 36 months on all 2000 four-cylinder Accord sedans.
Wow, what happened?
My wisdom
He had
tooth.
his wisdom tooth pulled.
I
You
need a
need to have this
prescription
prescription filled. Sure. Stay here. I'm going to go do the rest of the
When you
shopping.
don't feel well, you can't rush all over town. That's why the drugstore at Giant Eagle has the latest technology to ensure proper treatment. It's open extended hours, 7 days a week. And to keep life simple, we accept over 300 prescription plans. It's comforting to know that a pharmacy this good is at your neighborhood Giant Eagle.
You take these. Have your wife drive.
Cookies and cream. It takes a giant to make life simple.
Here's your regular internet homepage. And here's i1.com. It's free. You use it like Yahoo, Excite, or other search engines. Only i1.com gives away $10,000 every day, $1 million a month, and $10 million on tax day. Which one would you choose?
Very loyal to this site. I'm not going to abandon it for some new guy with a truckload of cash.
You're kidding.
Of course. Do I look like an idiot? Look at this cash.
Introducing i1.com. Why wouldn't you?
Give a little love. Here are great holiday ideas at great big Kmart prices. But they're only on sale this week. This 7-foot Christmas tree is just $59.99. Get a 19-inch Philips Magnavox TV, just $159.99. A Panasonic cordless phone, just $29.99. And all men's jeans are on sale, as low as $8.99. Hurry and save big this week at Big K, changing for the better.
Now, here's Bob Pompiani with a Hometown Sports Advantage.
Well, the Steelers are tied with the Ravens for third place, which gives this week's game some importance. Baltimore, though, is going in a different direction. They're winning at a time when the Steelers have lost 4 in a row, and that has made this season really a nightmare for players, coaches, and their families. Bill Cowher addressed that today.
It's kind of the nature of this position. I guess it's probably the nature of this position. You get involved with being in the public eye. You know, people say things, and that you know, sometimes you just kind of bite your tongue, and you wonder why they say them and where it comes from, and you just I guess you have to sit down and you appreciate the fact that when you're in the public eye, people can say whatever they want with no repercussions, with no feeling about you know, that you have a life and you're trying to live a life of normalcy too. But thank goodness I got a strong wife. I mean, she is, you know, she's been in sports. She understands that, and we're a very close family, a very strong family, and if anything, it's probably made us stronger.
Well, you would have thought that Penn State had a strong chance of getting the Bronco Nagurski Award, which goes to the nation's top defensive player, but neither LeVar Arrington nor Courtney Brown got that award, which tonight went to Corey Moore of Virginia Tech. Meanwhile, the only way Peter Warwick is going to go to the Heisman dinner on Saturday is if he buys a ticket. Today, Warwick found out that he was left off the list of finalists for college football's most prestigious award. Despite 71 catches this year, Warwick missed 2 games for his involvement in a clothing scam, and that cost him a chance to win the award. As far as your finalists are concerned, here they are. You can see Ron Dane, Joe Hamilton, Drew Brees, Chad Pennington, and Michael Vick, the 5 finalists for the Heisman. The Bengals will be in New Jersey tomorrow night without the services of goalie Tom Barrasso, who will miss the next 4 games because of a suspension issued by the NHL today. Barrasso broke Yannick Perreault's left arm with a wicked slash on Saturday night. Interestingly, no penalty was called, but after reviewing the tape and slowing it down like we did, the NHL said it was an attempt to injure. Barrasso will miss 4 games. Jean-Sebastien Aubin has been recalled. He will probably start tomorrow night against the Devils. Meanwhile, the league said no suspension time was necessary for Darius Kasparaitis, who was given a 5-minute boarding penalty against Sergei Berezin. Everyone on Saturday thought this would result in suspension time, but again, Kasper cleared by the NHL. In Toronto tonight, Sabres had a 2-0 lead over the Leafs when Gary Volk, the former Penguin here, beats Dwayne Rollison, and this one made a 2-1. Toronto is on the board. And then with Ty Domi screening Rollison, Thomas Caberlet here fires and puts it through traffic and in 2-2. The Leafs back in the game. In fact, it's time we're going to overtime. And like they did against the Penguins, Toronto won it in OT. Michael Pekka gave it away. Steve Thomas moves in and scores. 3-2, Leafs win. We had another OT game in New York tonight. Calgary led the Rangers 2-0, very late second period. They got a power play goal. Crank it up. Matthew Schneider makes it 2-1. Rangers back in the game after 2. Still 2-1, late third period, under a minute left. Rangers got the equalizer. Alexander Daigle to Adam Graves. It's 2-2. Look how quick this play materialized. Quick movement of the puck. It's 2-2 going to overtime. Rangers then got the winner in overtime. Again, it's Daigle. Another helper. Tim Taylor puts it home. New York erases a 2-0 deficit. They win 3-2 tonight at home. The Duquesne Dukes are back at home tomorrow when Canisius comes to the Palumbo Center. Last year, they beat Duquesne, so the Dukes are looking for some payback.
We can't underestimate Canisius tomorrow. They beat us last year, and I want to get back to 500, 3-3. I think we can win tomorrow. This game, we need to take advantage of this game.
I think this team is further along. Our schedule has definitely been a lot tougher, and we've already had 4 games on the road. So going into this game at 2-3, we're probably about where I thought we would be.
And now it's time for tonight's Dick's Sporting Goods Around the World Sports Tour Trivia question. Wayne Gretzky shattered Gordie Howe's record with his 1,850th point in 1989 as a member of which NHL team? Log on to dsports.com/KDKA if you know the answer. Anyone who submits a correct answer wins a prize from dsports.com and is automatically entered for this month's grand prize, which is the ultimate ski trip. Last month's grand prize was a trip for 2 to the Super Bowl, and tonight, the bus announced the winner at Dick's on Thor Tolo's radio show on KDKA.
Easy, after Cordell.
No, last season I'm talking about, when Cordell met with... Who is our grand prize winner?
The lucky winner who will be in Atlanta this year is Bob Lennon.
Hey, Bobby! Come on up!
Congratulations, Bob.
Bob had a lot of right answers.
Michael Vick is a freshman, right?
He's a freshman. At the beginning of the year, nobody thought he was much of anything because he was a freshman.
You don't have to be...
And he supplanted Warwick. He's been outstanding, by the way. Yeah. A lefty, no less. So.
Yeah, but it's rare that you ever see a freshman in the Heisman balloting.
But he made a huge statement at Virginia Tech. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the country, yes.
Hate to see what he's going to be like when he's a senior.
Oh, yeah.
If he's around.
If he's around. Very good point, yeah. Coming up next, holiday lights from your hometown.
Find out how your house can be featured on our 6 and 11 news quiz.
Jennifer Ankoviak, Ken Rice, counted on to bring you the most reliable look at the day's news at 5, and part of the most respected news team in Pittsburgh.
When they're little, parents teach their children to play nice. So who taught them to do this? Just think.
This holiday season, my good friend gave to me 6 Super 6 bottles. 5 cash 5. 4 big, 4 3 daily numbers, 2 instant games.
Happy holidays, Rita.
Thanks, Joe.
Great gift.
Pennsylvania lottery tickets make great gifts, like $1 million holiday gift. So give them to all the great people on your list.
Happy holidays.
And best wishes from the lottery.
Eternity for Men. Calvin Klein.
Classic Essentials, a $68 value, yours for $49.
Exclusively at Kaufman's.
Planning a holiday party? Please your guests with delicious party platters from the Downtown Deli at Shop and Save. We're working hard to treat you right for the holidays.
Arby's presents Real Appetizers. Cheesy mozzarella sticks, zesty jalapeno bites, and crunchy onion petals. Sidekickers. Only at Arby's.
Now, here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. We hope you're a winner. And be sure to watch the live drawing of the Pennsylvania Lottery after KDKA TV News at 6.
This time of year seems like you just can't win. The shopping, the traffic, the weather. It's like this endless game. Good thing there's the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event because everyone wins.
You can get huge cash back or low APR financing or great smart lease offers on these great Chevrolets. The cars and trucks you can depend on.
So, don't roll the dice this holiday season. Get to the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event. It's your turn to win.
They are mothers, fathers, daughters, and sons. Everyday heroes who are living symbols of one inspiring and powerful idea, the American dream. Meet them every Wednesday on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. Brought to you by Fidelity Investments.
Kohl's one-day sale is this Wednesday only with fantastic early bird specials from 7 till 11 a.m. only. Get our lowest prices ever on early bird specials like 14-karat gold earrings, just $19.99. Young men's Levi's L2 jeans, just $18.99. And KitchenAid Classic Stand mixers, just $149.99. Then shop all day and save 50% on hundreds of other great gift ideas throughout the store during Kohl's one-day sale this Wednesday only, 7 a.m. till 11 p.m.
We've been asking for pictures of outstanding holiday lights in our area. Tonight, we have the first.
It is from the O'Rourke family in Brookline. And that is the news for now. Thank you for joining us, and have a good evening.
Building healthy meals and snacks can be fun if parents and kids use the food pyramid. I'm Judy Dodd, Giant Eagle's Food and Nutrition Advisor. Begin with whole grain or enriched bread, cereal, or rice for fiber and iron. Add fruits and vegetables for vitamins A and C. Keep them ready to eat for a healthy snack or to add to a meal. And don't forget protein and calcium favorites, milk, cheese, or yogurt. Lean meat or chicken add protein. It takes a giant to make good nutrition simple, for kids' sake.
It takes a giant to make
Mommy's really gonna be surprised.
It takes a giant to make you smile. It's a feeling you get when you step inside that makes it all worthwhile. It's all those things that feel so right. It's everything that we do. It takes a giant to make life simple. Giant Eagle.
After months of searching, you finally found that new car you've been looking for, complete with an alarm system that will guarantee many restful nights. Or will it? Auto thieves look for easy targets, like cars, trucks, or SUVs that aren't visibly protected by the Club vehicle anti-theft device. The false security you get with alarms can be avoided when you use the Club. Its high visibility deters thieves, while its solid steel construction makes it virtually impossible to defeat. Don't wake up to find your car stolen. Make sure that the anti-theft device you use says The Club on the handle. 'Tis the season of giving, not taking. This holiday season, give the gift that works all year long. The Club. the #1 name in visible anti-theft protection.
Jennifer Ankoviak and Ken Rice. Weekdays on KDKA TV News at 5.